It used to be that being into Yu-Gi-Oh meant one thing: playing the card game as well as you could, as often as you could. Everyone from Robbie Cole to Asian Eyes had developed and nuanced opinions about the cards, strategies, format, and gameplay of the card game we all share. That's no longer the case. These days, being into Yu-Gi-Oh can mean anything from I tune into MBT's streams to watch him watch Progression Series, a show that meant a lot to me during COVID, to using the infrastructure on YGO Pro Deck, I play Arena with some of my Discord friends, to I haven't played the game in decades, but I love updating the memes on Master Duel meta. The death of the TCG monoculture has grown the community immensely, but it's also cost something. And as I ruminate on what that thing is and why it might matter, I find myself coming to the same conclusion over and over and over again. Master Duel is destroying the TCG. In a myriad of ways, through a myriad of forms, the continued success of Yu-Gi-Oh's online component is coming at the active detriment of paper play, and I want to talk about it. Before we get into anything, I want to make one thing extremely clear. I am not trying to denigrate individuals who play Master Duel. I'm not trying to imply that Master Duel is not real Yu-Gi-Oh! Or takes less skill, or is even less interesting. The last thing I'd want is for people who find joy in Master Duel to feel wrong for doing so. This isn't meant to pit two communities against each other, and in many ways, it's meant to dispel the myth that there are really two communities at all. Got it? Let's get started. This past weekend was the NAWCQ. I went, I had my invite, it was fun. Indianapolis is a really nice city. I told everyone all week that it felt like it was built in a more optimistic time. We were surrounded by skyscrapers, dozens of stories tall, most of which had been completely hollowed out. In fact, our Airbnb had once been a department store before being mostly converted to some extremely skinny two-bedroom setups. When you walked outside of your room, you could still peer down into a labyrinth of escalators and old perfume stands. The irony of 2,000 Yu-Gi-Oh players huddling together in an old building that hadn't been lively since the early 2000s was not lost on us. Anyway, the event was a blast. In the last few years, Konami's really stepped up their game with respect to the YCS and WCQ experience. They've poached commentators from other esports, figured out how to run hype mid-roll, and even let the winner sign the lens of the camera after he took it. Oh, and also they'd set up a Connect game where you could run around an obstacle course as Karibo. Good stuff all around. I did okay. I started out at 5-1 before the wheels fell off. Fatigue and a couple of curveballs messed with my mental, and I misplayed my way out of day 2. My penultimate round, the match that would determine if I stayed in or got drunk at a barcade, a Midwestern delicacy, was against none other than the one and only Team Samurai X1. On one hand, I hate playing friends, it sucks to win or lose, but on the other, I love riffing. Sam and I have known each other for years, so when I stepped up, we shot the shit for a little while. Suddenly, he got serious. He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I'm really happy you're doing this," motioning at my deck. "What do you mean?" I asked. "This," he said, rolling his head to indicate everything. The WCQ, the VIP area, it's important. It's important to play like this. He meant the TCG. "You've got to," he said as we shuffled up. "You've got to." He spoke like he was trying to convince someone. Me, maybe, himself, the community. The WCQ was huge. 2,800 people showed up, each sporting an invitation hard-won from another huge tournament. This puts it on pace with one of the biggest WCQs of all time, but I couldn't help but feel small. Unlike other WCQs, to me, this one felt like the 2,800 people in this room were the last people playing the TCG on the planet. Over the past few years, I've watched almost all of my friends, lifelong Yugists, and a significant number of my colleagues on YouTube stop playing the TCG altogether. As content creators, the latter group has pretty substantial data as to what's working, what isn't, what people are watching, and what they aren't. And the picture is pretty clear. The TCG just isn't what people want to watch. DBG's down, Yassine's down, Pac has completely shifted his focus to MetaFi coaching. Even the competitive TCG creators that are seeing massive growth right now, Lucas Sacco, GG Yu-Gi-Oh, are struggling to crack 10K on views. Big names like Sam occasionally put out deck profiles to the tune of a third of their normal viewership, and 10-minute testing still doing okay, but I'd hardly call it competitive content. There is exactly one competitive TCG player who's putting up numbers, Josh, and half his fucking videos are about Master Duel. As the monoculture begins to deteriorate, as Yu-Gi-Oh players become a looser amalgamation of individuals who like Yu-Gi-Oh instead of explicit TCG players, there are financial consequences. If you haven't been paying attention to the price of product recently, it's not good. Individual individual cards can command triple digits of money for a playset, but the most recently released core set is rotting on the shelves for cost. Not MSRP, cost. Opening packs is quickly becoming a thing of the past. Why chase product to open if you're just occasionally going to show up to locals with a pet deck? The tack-on effects for OTSs are dire. They can't sustain a business with products rotting on the shelves. The final nail in the coffin for paper play came earlier today. Epic Games, along with some other Yu-Gi-Oh! Distributors, revealed they had received guidance requiring them to phase out Time Wizard at the regional level to be replaced with Time Trial, an anachronistic format that basically amounts to a fucked up mix between the TCG and OCG ban lists at a specific point in time, with every card that's received an errata having that errata and Master Rule 5. This change was attempted once already and received such severe backlash from the community that Konami was pressured into reversing. But that reversal was very specific and intentionally left the door open to do literally exactly this. Why are they changing Time Wizard, a grassroots development by the community that's brought thousands of lapsed Yugists back into the fold? Well, because you can't play it in Master Duel. This is where it all comes together. As the community moves on from competitive content, as OTSs are unable to push product, and as paper decisions are being made with the online client in mind, we may have to face facts. Master Duel's just a little too good. It's becoming increasingly clear the future of this product is going to be inexorably tied to Master Duel. We will play the side formats they prescribe, we will craft cards instead of purchasing them, we will watch their slick, readable client instead of dueling book. Now you might be thinking to yourself, good. Instead of total confusion about what's being played, where, and why, we'll soon have a single client that encompasses all the ways you're allowed to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of streamers complaining about ass traps, they'll be able to find something they like. And all it took was totally annihilating a paper player base. I think that's a trade-off that Konami's okay with. It's hard to look at the amount of money Master Duel makes every year with no overhead, no distributors, no production costs, and not immediately do everything you can to go all in on it. It's even possible doing so will save Yu-Gi-Oh! That it'll become a household name again. A game everyone's familiar with and can play at their leisure like fucking Fortnite. There was a leaked conversation between a shareholder and Konami a few months back that expressed frustration that Master Duel players weren't becoming paper players, that they wanted a way to shoo digital-only consumers to their IRL loot boxes. Rather than resolve that issue, I think Konami has actually made the opposite calculation. Paper play exists as a mechanism to entrench individuals into the Yu-Gi-Oh! IP, and when they want to play with their friends online, they'll download their incredibly popular gacha game. To be clear, even if these trends continue, I don't think this is the end of TCG. A worst-case scenario for me results in the TCG operating with the same legitimacy as Duel Links, a profitable enterprise just lucrative enough to sustain itself, but one which is also wholly ignored by the wider player base. Cottage industry for meta-fi Andes. So, who cares? If the worst comes to pass and paper events and products become totally infrequent, but digital's thriving, then what's the harm? After all, it's still Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, Keegan of E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Fame posted a series of tweets today that really resonated with me. In them, he claimed that the reason he started his sister tournament series, the R-Bets, was because Yu-Gi-Oh! Means more than just playing the game. It's an opportunity in an increasingly atomized and lonely world to leave your house and hang out with people you don't know. I can't deny it's more convenient to play online. You can get up to piss, watch Vsauce in the other monitor, but to me, it's missing something. There's a je ne sais quoi about being forced to enjoy yourself in real life with other people. Even at my lowest, just having locals as a consistent, centralizing force, a routine was irreplaceable. And even if the winds of change blow away from paper, I'll be playing whatever format I can in real life until I can't. You've got to.
Joseph Rothschild here, aka Mono Bluetron, demoing my deck that I played for my day 2 finish at the National NAWCQ.
What's up, gamers? This is Joseph Rothschild, also known as MBT, back from his Philadelphia Regional. How did you do?
I did fine. What are you doing? I just want to show you the deck that I've been playing for the last couple of weeks in Duel Links.
I just wrapped up day 2 of the second Remote Duel YCS.
We're now here with our 6th feature match for round 6 here at YCS London 2023. We have Joseph Rothschild versus Philip Gasberger.
Today I'm showing you this. If you're unfamiliar, this past weekend I went to YCS Cancun and I had a wonderful time in the area. Thank you so much to everyone who came up and said hi. When talking with pros about decks that should be prepped for at a YCS environment, that list was incredibly short, like 6 or 7.